Hey everybody, it's me, Crazy Tracie. I just wanted to make a quick video of something that happened to me at the restaurant. Me and my husband, we went to go have dinner earlier. And, you know, I always go out in public dressed up as a female. Now, I never said I was a female because I'm not. I'm a transsexual. But anyways, we went to this restaurant. We always frequent this Mexican restaurant. We were there eating, and there was like a couple of gangsters there having dinner, and they were having alcohol. They were drinking. Well, anyways, I could tell by the corner of my eye. I could see by the corner of my eye that they kept like staring at me and making little comments. You know how they always make comments, or they just stare at you and stare at you, and you know, it doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that they don't tell it to me in my face, or they don't come up to me and be a real gangster and, you know, say something to me or whatever. You know, I'm not saying I'm asking for trouble, but to me it's like, if you're going to be about it, you know. So anyways, I'm there eating my food, you know, la 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 la, and I could still hear them, and, you know, like I could see them and stuff, you know. So what I did was, I'm going to recap what I did, okay? Pretend they're over here to my right side and they're eating and stuff, and they kept staring at me and cracking jokes or whatever, you know, and people were watching and listening. So I'm eating my food, and this is what I did. I'm eating my food, and I stopped and I went, "What?" really loud. Honey, I became the lion from the Wizard of Oz. I was like, "Put him up, put him up." No, but anyways, I went like this. I went, "What?" real loud. And honey, they dropped their forks and their glasses. Like, one of them dropped their glass, the other one dropped their forks. They jumped out of their seat, and they're like, "No, nothing, it's cool, it's cool." I said, "Well, fuck off, faggots." I really did say faggots. I really did. I really said faggots. Because, honey, to me, that's a faggot, you know? You have your homosexuals, you have your gay people, and you have your faggots. And so, they stopped what they were doing, and people were just looking at me like who the hell is she? Like, she's crazy. And to me, it's like, you know, honey, you want to mess with me? Come on, bring it on. I don't care if you're a man, a girl, a dog, a bird. You know, I don't care who you are. You're gonna try to mess with me. You're messing with the wrong queen, because I'm a dirty bitch. And if you've seen my videos in the past, honey, I don't play games. I could be your best friend, or I could be your worst enemy, or I could be your own killer. I will kill you. I'm just kidding. But anyways, I felt good because I did that. And I just felt like, sometimes, honey, you have to speak up and you have to say something. I know a lot of you girls are going to send comments and tell me that I was being insecure because all I had to do was to ignore them. But sometimes ignoring people is just not enough. And if you ignore them, they're going to continue and continue. Excuse me. Another incident, a while back, because, you know, I drink beer. I love to drink beer. And I went to go buy a 6-pack. And as I was passing by, there was this straight guy with his little kid. And as I passed by, I know they were like laughing and stuff. And the little kid said joto, which means faggot. I ignored it because the father kept laughing and laughing. But I said, when I come back from the store, I'm going to say something. So when I came back from the store and I passed by them again, I said, "Okay, I'm right here. Tell me what you got to say." But I didn't say it towards the kid. I directed it towards the father. I said, "I'm right here. Tell me what you got to say." I said, "What did you call me?" He's like, No, nothing." I said, "Yes, you did." I go, "I'm right here." And he's like, "No, I didn't say anything." I said, "You know what? You need to teach your kid how to respect people, because you know what? The next transsexual that he calls him a faggot, or you say something, they may not just stop by and say something. They're going to come back and they're going to attack you." I go, because there are people out there who will not take your shit. And then I told the little kid, I said, "And son," you know, I said, "Mijo," I said, "and you know what, son? I'm not a faggot. I'm a transsexual. Maybe your father should educate you. I'm not a female, I'm not a man, I'm a transsexual, and I'm not a faggot." And it's not nice to say things to people like that, especially when you don't know what it means. And I walked away, and then the father, he kept saying, you know, "Take it easy, take it easy." I'm like, "No, you take it easy. You take care of your children, and you educate them, and you teach them what is a transsexual and what is a faggot, because to me, you're the faggot, because you don't have the balls to educate your son." and that was it. I'm sorry if I come across really strong, but it's just really annoying, and sometimes it's hard to ignore people, and sometimes you have to stand up for your rights and say what you feel, because if you don't, they're going to keep doing it and doing it. And when I got home today, I told myself, I'll bet you him and his son felt comfortable doing that because there was other transsexuals in the past or other gay people who just walked by and didn't say anything. If you think I'm wrong, fine. If you think I'm right, fine. I don't care. But I wanted to express what I did because I feel like I did the right thing. Okay? Love all you guys. Love, hugs, and kisses. It's me, Crazy Tracie. Bye. Mwah.